Hi, my name is Georgia, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a pleated mask. Here are some of the materials that you need. Pins, you can use any kind of pin as long as they're about that size. You're going to need some pretty sharp scissors, a pen to mark your fabric with, measuring tape, safety pin, elastic, an iron, and a sewing machine. In this video, I'm not going to be teaching you how to use an iron or a sewing machine, so I do recommend that you know how to use those things before you watch this video. You're also going to need some material. So this is from an old shirt, but you can use anything. You can order it off of Amazon. The material that you can use is endless. The dimensions for the big one is 20 centimeters by 40 centimeters, and you're going to need two 6 centimeters by 11 centimeters. Now, let's begin with the sewing. Okay, so I've already pre-cut my fabric, so make sure that you have that 20 centimeters by 40 centimeters. Now, what you're going to want to do first is you're going to want to turn it on the side that you don't like the most. So this one has a line on it from me cutting it, so I'm going to put it on that side because you're not going to be able to see it once the mask is done. You're going to iron it out so that's flat and ready for you to fold it. You're going to take one side and you're going to make a 1 centimeter fold and iron that out. And then we're going to do it on the other side as well. And now that you have those two folds, you're going to fold it in half. Make sure that that fold is pretty accurate. And you're going to iron to the crease. So now what you're going to do is you're going to fold it in half again, but that should be there, and you're going to fold it like that. And iron the crease. You really want to get a good crease here because it's going to help you later. You're going to open it up again so you can see your line, and we're going to start creating our pleats. For this, you're going to need your pins ready. So I'm just going to create a pleat that goes right there, and I'm going to iron it out. And then I'm going to create another pleat that goes right here. First, actually, you're going to want to pin it down so that it doesn't move. And then you're going to pleat it again so that it looks like that. And pin that down as well. Now we're just doing the exact same thing on the other side. We're going to make sure that it all stays in place by ironing it out a little bit. And this is what the front should look like. And this is what the back should look like. Now we're going to sew. So now that you have your pleated mask with the clips on it, you're going to want to sew it. Now we're going to be sewing like that. So it's just, we're going to be doing a box around it all. So you want to make sure that your pleats are in place, and you're going to make sure that you sew these two little things together. So let's begin. You're going to take off that first clip, set it aside, and you're going to want to keep your finger on the pleat so it doesn't move around. Once the foot is down, it shouldn't be a problem. And then you're going to take your next clip and you're going to take it off after you've sewn the knot. And now you're going to take up your foot and you're going to move it to the next part. Make sure that your two little pieces are aligned and begin sewing again. Stopping just before you get to that little clip there, keeping the pleat in place, you're going to continue to sew. And you're going to pick up your foot, turn it to the side, make sure that your finger is on that pleat like I told you. You really do not want that to go anywhere. Take up that foot, and we're going to sew right here, making sure that we don't get any pleats. Right back to the beginning. Now we have our complete sewed mask, but we still need to add the straps. Before we begin on those, we're going to want to cut any loose threads because we do want our mask to look nice. Set those little strings aside. And let's begin on the next part. I have two already prepared little pieces of fabric. This is 6 centimeters by 11 centimeters, and that's 2 of them. You're going to choose a side that you don't like the most, so I have a few lines right here, and you're going to put it right there so that it looks like that. And you're going to begin to sew it, making sure that it's lined up and making sure that it's all the way at the edge, and we're going to begin to sew. Now we've completed that one, it should look like this. We move on to the next one. Make sure that it's aligned. So now your mask should look like this. And we're going to move on to our next part. So now your mask should look like this. I cut off all the loose threads. And now what you're going to do is you're going to open it up so it looks like this. You're going to take your iron, be very careful. You're going to iron this out just to make sure that it's all in place, and you're going to iron this flat so that it stays in place there. Now my mask looks a little bit off, and that's completely fine. It'll completely work on anybody's face, so don't worry if your mask doesn't look proportionate. And you're going to flip over your mask to this side, and you're going to fold this in so that it aligns with the pleated part itself. This side too. And you need your clips for this. You're going to fold it over all the little parts there. Iron it down, but it won't completely stay in place. So you're going to pin it in place. And the same thing on the other side. You're going to and iron it into place. And now we're gonna move on to sewing. So now your mask should look like this. With your clips like this is how the back should look. You're gonna turn it over to his back because you wanna see where your line is. You're gonna take off your first clip, set that aside, put it underneath the needle, and you wanna make sure that you're sewing as far as possible over to the left, because we're going to be putting our elastic through and we want to have enough space to do that. And sorry, my sewing machine is being very annoying. And this is how it should look. And we're going to move on to our next side. Pull that back. And you're going to cut your loose threads. And now we have this. For this step, you're going to want your mask to look like this, front and back. You're going to want some elastic. You're going to want your safety pin and some scissors. Now, you're going to want to cut your elastic according to how loosely you want your mask to fit. So I think that I want my mask to be maybe that long, that loosely fit, and you're gonna want to make the other one the exact same length or else it won't fit very well. So now you have two little pieces of elastic. You can put away that little bit of elastic, and your scissors, you don't need those either anymore. And you're going to take your safety pin, you're going to put it through the end of one of your elastic, and you're just going to put it through the opening. And tie it tight. The same thing on the other side. You want to make sure that your tie is pretty tight or else it will fall off of whoever is wearing it. You're going to do the same thing on the other one. Put it through the opening. This is why we made the opening so big, so that the safety pin could go through. And you're going to tie it tight. So now that you've done that, you're probably going to want to get that tie inside because it doesn't look that good. And so now you have your mask, and it's pleated so it'll fit most faces. And this is not my first mask, you know, yours might not look like this, and that's okay. You know, I try a lot of times, you know. They all look different. They all fit somebody in my family. And, you know, it doesn't matter what it looks like because right now, what you need is a mask. You don't need a good looking mask. So, thank you for watching. Bye!